Welcome back, engineers. We're starting off the wheel and axle unit with some unit conversion. In this first problem, we're asked to convert 5 feet 3 inches into just feet. Before we can do that, we need to be able to add these together, right? 5 feet plus 3 inches. But you can't add two quantities together unless they have the same unit. So we're going to start by converting the 3-inch measurement into feet. So how do we do that? Let's take 3 inches and set ourselves up a conversion table. We're going to put inches on the bottom and feet on top. We know that 1 foot is worth 12 inches. So the math here, inches will cancel out. We just need to do 3 times 1 divided by 12. So we get out our calculator. That is going to be 3 divided by 12, which is going to be 0.25, or 1/4 of a foot. So it's 0.25 feet. So we really have 5 feet plus 0.25 feet to get this full measurement, and that's of course going to give us 5.25 feet. That's our final answer. We would be putting that in here, 5.25, and we would be all done with that problem. Alright, let's try another one. So sometimes your feet and inches will be in these little hash mark units. The single hash mark means feet, and the double hash mark means inches. So we've got a pretty similar problem to last time. We've got 3 feet plus 9 inches, so we have to figure out how much 9 inches is worth. If we take 9 inches, we want to convert it into... Oh, wait a second. Our last unit that we want is actually inches. I think I kind of jumped ahead of myself a little bit there. In these problems, you first want to figure out what is your final unit that you want. And in this case, we want inches. So we need to convert the feet into inches. So how are we going to do that? Well, we've got 3 feet. Let's convert that. Put feet on the bottom, inches on top. We know that 1 foot is 12 inches. So in this case, it's going to be 3 times 12. That's going to give us 36 inches. So we have 36 inches plus 9 inches. That's going to give us 45 inches. Or could be written as 45 with the double hash mark. Alright, I've got one more problem for you for this video. This is one of the later problems in the section. Analyze the diagram and complete the data table. We have a simple wheel and axle setup. It may not look traditional, but kind of like a screwdriver shape here. We've got the large blue wheel and the small green axle. We're asked to find a few things here. We want to find the radius, the diameter, and the circumference of each of these. Now, the larger of the two is always the wheel. So the blue is going to be our wheel, and the smaller is always the axle. Alright, so let's start off with something that we know. Everything's going to be in inches here. Notice our units are all asking for inches. So what's given to us? Well, the 0.7 inches here, that is the all the way across of the axle. So that is our diameter of the axle. So that's going to be going in right here, 0.7. What is this measurement here given to us? Well, that's referring to the wheel, the blue wheel, and it is the distance from the center to the outer edge, which is going to be the radius. So the radius of the wheel is 1.1. Just a quick geometry review. Hopefully you remember that from the center to the outer edge is the radius. From outer edge across through the center to another outer edge, that is going to be your diameter. And then the circumference is the whole length around, right? The whole length around this circle is going to give you circumference, okay? So we have one equation that's going to help us out. Well, two equations we should note. The diameter is always 2 times the radius, and also the circumference is 2 pi r, or you could write that as, since 2 times the radius is the diameter, you could just write it as pi times the diameter. Okay, so now that we've got one of each of these, let's go ahead and figure out, let's work on the wheel here. The diameter of the wheel would be 2 times the radius, so 2 times 1.1, that would give us 2.2. What about the circumference of the wheel? Well, that's going to be, I'll use the second form of this, the pi d. So pi times diameter. So pi times 2.2. I will need my calculator for this. Pi times 2.2. Let's see if I can find the pi value here. There it is. I'm going to have the second button, and then this button here gives me pi. Multiply that by 2.2, and we get 6.11. If you don't have a pi number on your calculator, you can always just type in 3.14. If you want to be really accurate, 3.14159. Those are the first 6 digits of pi. Multiply by 2.2, and you'll get the same answer, effectively 6.91. Close enough. 6.91 inches. Both of these are inches. 6.91. Okay, let's switch gears and figure out what's going on with the axle. We already have the diameter, so let's solve out what the radius is. Our equation is d equals 2r. But we have that the diameter is 0.7. So divide by 2 on both sides. And 0.7 divided by 2 should give us 0.35. So 0.35 equals our radius, because the 2's canceled out. That's in inches again. So 0.35. Sorry, that's a 0. Sometimes my handwriting is a little tough, I know. But 0.35 is our radius. And then let's get the circumference. Circumference equals pi times diameter. So pi times 0.7. 0 is getting me every time. 0.7. Let's go back to our calculator. Pi times 0.7, second, and we get 2.2. Alright, and 2.2 is our circumference. Alright, that problem is all done. Hopefully this helps. Good luck on the problem set.